Okay, I have an issue with Boba Fett taking off his helmet again and again and again. And I kind of have an issue with him wearing his uniform at all. That might sound very
Mm.
controversial, but the idea, I loved seeing Boba Fett in Mandalorian wearing his desert garb,
Yeah.
wearing that black. It's very cool, very I mean, say what you want, but Boba Fett knows how to look cool no matter what he does. You could give him a black bag and he would make it into something stylish.
Yeah.
um
Yeah, I mean,
it,
he looks great. He comes in swinging
yeah,
that club, doesn't he? And
yeah,
when you
yeah.
first see him in The Mandalorian, and he's awesome.
He really is. But I think
Yeah.
he was better in that without the gun, without the rocket pack, without the kind of the armor. It was so much better seeing this man who resembled almost like Alec Guinness in A New Hope or
Mm.
something, just kicking ass and taking names and being the Obi-Wan of that show, being the wise old leader, or the once former legend, or something like that.
Mm.
There was something so much more profound to the way he handled himself in those few
Mm.
episodes, I think, than what we're getting here. I think what we're getting here, this guy who, I remember, one of the criticisms about in Attack of the Clones, and this has nothing, this is kind of often a tangent, but hopefully I'll be able to bring it back. The idea of Yoda and Christopher Lee having a lightsaber battle. And the whole argument was they shouldn't be, Yoda doesn't need a lightsaber. He's beyond
Mm.
all of that. It's like his whole knowledge of the Force is so ahead of everybody. The lightsaber is pointless for him, right?
Mm.
And and when someone said that to me, I thought, oh yeah. And I kind of feel Boba Fett now, and I think this gets reinforced with future episodes. Boba Fett doesn't need the armor now. He doesn't need the helmet now. When you look at that face, you're like, wow, I'm not going to fuck with
Mm.
that guy. And
Yeah.
when you see that black garb that he's got, that kind of the desert kind of clothing he's got on, you just think, yeah, I definitely don't want to get in this guy's way. And he's got this big
Mm.
staff and everything. To me, the Boba Fett outfit itself now has almost become obsolete or inferior.
Mm.
Not only because we've seen Mandalorian in a what seems like a much cooler kind of outfit, if I dare I say, but I don't think Boba Fett needs it anymore. In the same way that Yoda doesn't need a lightsaber.
Maybe not. I mean, that might be the case they're making with the
yeah,
helmet coming off constantly, and the fact he's literally in his undies for some of the scenes in the Bacta tank. He's for me, that aspect of it is slightly jarring, but I don't know if it's a bad thing, because this feels really original trilogy. It's sandy, it's hot, there are droids and aliens, and it feels really original trilogy. There's not like the Galactic Senate and that kind of stuff, and there's not it's not this. Actually, it lacks a little bit of the space opera. It feels a bit smaller. So you get the sandy expanse, but then I think the rest of it's sets, and it feels like it's set, so it gives it a slightly smaller feel. It gives it a slightly small feel. I find. I don't think that's bad, because they're trying to concentrate it in one place, so that probably plays to it. But I think, to your point, maybe they are trying to say he's moved on from being that character. So that's why the helmet comes off. The original series, none of the helmets did come off. Vader once or twice, but like everyone kept their helmets on, which is, again, that reflected into the Mandalorian, but that felt less original series. That felt newer, even though it was obviously the timeline matched up with the original one. I think they might be saying something with the fact he can
yeah,
take that helmet off
yeah.
constantly.
I think it's right now. It feels like he's doing it because, well, he's not of the same kind of a devoted clan of that Pedro Pascal's character was
Mm.
in Mandalorian. They never took their helmets off, but that was like a very specific kind of a, let's say, very devout clan. I think
Mm.
this I think he has the freedom to take the helmet off, but I do think the more I think about I wonder, is the conclusion of this season going to be that the armor does get destroyed, or that the armor is
Mm.
no longer something the armor is holding him back. You know,
Mm.
that maybe people aren't, like, the other warlords aren't taking him seriously, or the other criminals of the town aren't as intimidated as they would have been. You're the guy who fell into the Sarlacc pit. So now he needs to be the guy who came out of the Sarlacc pit.
I mean,
Um,
there might be a scene where he chucks it in the Sarlacc because
yeah,
saying
yeah.
goodbye to who he was. But I
And
mean, would it be a Boba Fett show without the helmet? Is the
I
question.
I think that's I think that's the work they've got ahead of them. And I know it's
Yeah.
already been made, but
Mm.
that's what I would like to see moving forward, is the idea that he's Boba Fett by name. He's Boba
Mm.
Fett because of his father, not because of some helmet he picked up that isn't even the same helmet anyway.
Mm.
You know, he from what I understand, he the suit is what has defined Boba Fett. And I think
Mm.
Favreau and Filoni know this, and I think Rodriguez as well knows this. People love Boba Fett because he was a cool action figure. You know, he
Mm.
was the one that had the rocket that fired out of his back. He was a guy you could dress up as for Halloween.
Yeah.
You know, he was the stormtrooper who fell into a bucket of paint. I've heard him described as one point. You know, like he's defined by his costume and by the stuff he's got on him. You
Mm.
can't tell me who his character is because we don't know anything about him. Even who he is a clone of somebody else. He doesn't even have his individuality. That's what this show needs to be doing, and it is doing that, absolutely.
Mm.
But I feel like to really make this show earn its place in Star Wars lore, as not just a cash grab or not just a thing to kill time before the Obi-Wan show comes out or whatever, it's got to be, I'm not my suit. I'm not what I wear.